An 18-year-old girl fell in love with a 50-year-old man. She gave birth to a son and a daughter, and for a time, their family became the envy of the entire city. But the arrival of the king shattered their peaceful life, forever changing their fate. The king had heard of the earl's vast fortune, said to rival that of a nation. What fascinated him even more was the earl's rumored ability to turn metal into gold. Intrigued, he decided to visit the earl in person. Cautious and respectful, the earl welcomed the king with great ceremony. He led a grand entourage to one of his construction sites and generously shared his alchemical methods with everyone present. But in the shadows, someone was plotting treachery. After demonstrating his technique, the earl prepared to return via a mechanical lift. Concerned about safety, he insisted on going first. But the king, eager to prove his courage, demanded to go ahead. At the top, the lift's handle suddenly snapped. In a split second, the earl and his guards acted swiftly, halting the pulleys and saving the king's life. Though unharmed, the humiliated king stormed off in anger, convinced the incident had been a setup. That night, he left the earl's castle without a word. Soon after, the royal decree came. The king had ordered the earl's arrest. Realizing he'd been framed, the earl used his final hours of freedom to prepare his wife and children. Knowing he might not return, he gave Lisa a heartfelt goodbye, but Lisa refused to give up. She first placed the children in her cousin's care, then searched tirelessly for help. After many failed attempts, a sympathetic lawyer agreed to assist. With his help, Lisa managed to visit the earl in prison. Seeing her husband battered and bloodied, tears streamed down her face. The earl, worried for her safety, begged her to leave Paris and never return. But Lisa stayed firm. She would not abandon him. Determined to save her husband, Lisa continued her search for the truth. Eventually, she uncovered a conspiracy she had witnessed as a child. A secret plot between the prince and the archbishop to overthrow the throne. Several letters still existed as proof. Together with the lawyer, Lisa risked everything to return to their estate and retrieve the letters, hidden years ago behind a loose brick in the wall. Disguised as a maid, she barged into an audience with King Louis XIV and presented the evidence. But the king didn't even glance at the documents. The conspirators named in the letters were no longer a threat. To him, the true danger was now the earl. Too rich, too powerful, too influential. The trial brought no justice. The earl was convicted on multiple charges and sentenced to death. His execution was scheduled for noon the next day in the public square. With no time left, Lisa used every bit of the fortune her husband had left her. She rallied an army of beggars and assassins and launched a daring nighttime raid on the prison. They fought their way in, only to find the cell empty. Their enemies had outmaneuvered them once again. The execution time had been secretly moved. By then, the earl was already on his way to the square.